Tonight on Joy News, Prime Speaker of Parliament rules out any possibility of Parliament shutting down over COVID-19, insisting such a move will grind the entire country to a halt.
Parliament is not like many other places that you can simply and easily say we have suspended or closed down. If Parliament doesn't sit, the country will shut down.
Minority Leader Haruna Iddrisu cautions the Ghana Armed Forces to remain neutral in the discharge of their duties and the ongoing voter registration exercise after reports of abuses in the Volta region emerged.
Our caution to the Ghana Police Service and to the Ghana Armed Forces is that they should stay neutral as a state institution.
But Deputy Minister for Defense Major Derek Odro describes the allegation by the minority leader as untruth and propaganda.
It's never true. It has never been true, and it will never be true. So whatever they claim, they can go ahead and then do their propaganda.
Also in this bulletin, the Ashanti region records 58 COVID-19 deaths out of, as the national figure stands at 129. We will find out why the region is reporting high deaths.
That most of them come and die within 24 hours. Some of them even are brought in dead. And you do the verbal autopsy and say, oh, this may be COVID.
And in business,
Ghana Union of Traders Association GUTA kicks against any move to review the country's laws on retail trade, warning of massive revenue losses.
And it shouldn't be the priority of government that I'm seeking foreign direct investment into the retail space. It doesn't make sense anywhere in the world.
We'll take you to Apache in the Ashanti region, where residents are angry with a man for arresting 2 children for plucking corn from his farm.
It is a mebaya boni bikrana, kauda boom, as one my mamma won the meti and say, and Kranigu police station.
My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're live from Akokum Limle Studios in Accra. We're on Go TV channel 144, on DSTV channel 421, and on your digital terrestrial TV because we're free to air. Health authorities in the Ashanti region are investigating what they say is alarming coronavirus-related fatalities in the region. Officials say high mortality figures are becoming concerns to the directorate since it could affect the fight against COVID-19. The region accounts for 58 deaths, almost half of Ghana's death toll of 129 as of July 9, 2020. Regional Health Director Dr. Emmanuel Tinkran describes the fatality as highly unacceptable as he calls for concerted efforts to bring it down. Ohim Interior of our health desk has more in the following report.
Ashanti region has seen COVID-19 deaths jump from 5 from May 10, 2020 to 58 as at yesterday, July 9, 2020. Confirmed COVID-19 cases leaped from 453 to 4,972 with 3,641 recoveries over the same period. Out of 42 districts with confirmed cases, Kumasi Metropolis tops the death toll with 33. Obuasi Municipality and Obuasi East District follow with 4 each. Efijakwabre South and Kwadaso have 3 apiece, with Otafo 2. 9 other districts have each lost 1 person. Health authorities say they are analyzing the worrying trend as there's evidence of many patients being brought in either dead or die less than 24 hours on admission. Dr. Emmanuel Tinkran is the Ashanti Regional Health Director.
I'm very much concerned. Sincerely, that has been my work. And every day we are working, we are analyzing records, because you realize that most of them come and die within 24 hours. Some of them even are brought in dead. And you do the verbal autopsy and say, oh, this may be COVID. So these are some of the challenges. So it means that most probably the awareness is not high, or the denial is still very high. And that's the reason why people are just ignoring the protocols and then the guidelines. The mortalities may be due to the fact that people are reporting late, or people are living in denial, or we are dealing with a difficult strain, or we are not managing the cases as expected. All these are factors. We are trying to analyze the data and then classify the deaths properly to see how they come in, how they die, the signs and symptoms, whether it's COVID death or COVID-related death. All these are something that I think we need to start researching into to find out why the mortality in the Ashanti region is quite high compared to all other regions in this country.
Despite ongoing public education, many residents in the region doubt the existence of the coronavirus. People continue to flout safety protocols such as social distancing, wearing of face masks and hand washing with impunity. The likely consequence is that a few will report COVID-19 related symptoms at health facilities. Dr. Tinkran attributes the cause of the trend to several factors, but he singles out public apathy to the virus.
It seems that people are not serious about it. And so even when they are sick, they just won't come to the hospital. They stay till they are just about to die. So in fact, we need a lot of, not only the health system, but we need a concerted effort by all the stakeholders, everybody, so as to maybe embark on continuous education for the people in my region to realize that we have a challenge. We shouldn't just sit down thinking that nothing is happening. And sometimes I go around, I interview people, and they think that there's nothing. You are just scaring us. You're scaring us. There's nothing. You say there's a problem, but we don't see any problem. It's because they are not in our hospitals. And sometimes what they tell us is so hurting.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oyemi Interior reporting.
Joining me via Zoom is Ashanti Regional President of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Parkway Sibeidu. Doc, good to have you on Joy News Prime. But from where you sit, what is accounting for the many COVID-19 deaths in your region?
Sorry. Good evening to your listeners. I just tuned in, and I think I got the latter part of the interview with my Regional Director of Health. And I share in his sentiments. The people in the region think COVID-19 is just a figment of the imagination of health workers. And that said, if you look at the latest figures, I think I have those from yesterday. And out of the total number of deaths in the country, I think 129 from my last check, 58 of them are coming from Ashanti region. And though we have the second highest just behind Accra, I think we have more deaths than Greater Accra with the highest number of cases. And then my checks, well, usually I am with them every day. So I just spoke with them today. And you realize that some of the factors accounting for this is one, of the total number of people who have died, the 58, only 10% are below 50. So you realize that most of them are above 50 years. And with that comes your comorbidities, as they usually say. But that in itself is not a reason why people die, but it's one of the main reasons being that most of the people we see here are elderly. As I said, only 10% are below 50 from the statistics we have here. Secondly, you realize that there's so much community spread. And when people are sick, just like the regional director said, they go to all manner of places or they take all manner of concoctions. Now, the medication of choice is the zinc and zinc-based products together with the vitamin C's. But then by the time they get to our health facilities, you realize that most of them are almost dead. So just like the regional director said, they present to our hospitals really sick, really, really sick. And that is what is accounting for most of the deaths within the region. The third factor has to do with the number of beds that we had in the region. And when I say the number of beds, you realize that in the region, it was only Komfo-Anokye that was taking care of the critically ill ones. And now I think new facilities are being set up Thankfully, thanks to Professor Frimpong Boateng, I think he's released his facility at Tuase for us to have it as one of the treatment centers. So you realize that unlike Accra, where we have UGMC, we have Gan East, here is only Konfanoche, and some time back we talked about bed occupancy, the treatment and holding areas being full. So all these factors contribute to the high mortality rate we see in Ashanti region.
So what's the plan going forward to help deal with the situation, Doc?
Yes, it's important that the people within the region realizes that COVID-19 is not the figment of anybody's imagination. The disease is real, and just like my regional director said, this evening I was having a chat with a group of people, and I said if they want, we can invite them, because there were a group of 15 people arguing, and I chanced on them, and somebody realizing I was a doctor, and the argument was there was nothing like COVID-19, is because probably the government needed money. That's why they created that, just to obtain money. And I told them if they want, we will invite them to the treatment centers to see that no, it's not anybody's imagination, but it is real. So it's high time the people within the region realizes that it's real, and then we go by all the necessary precautions as advocated by the Ghana Health Service and all the necessary bodies.
I'm grateful for your time. Dr. Parkway Sibeidu is Ashanti Region President of the Ghana Medical Association. We're and settling at Parliament because Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, rules out any possibility of the legislature shutting down as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. Many institutions, including Finance Ministry, Cocoa Board, BOST, have all closed down their offices as a result of many staff testing positive for COVID-19. Parliament recorded its first case months ago, prompting some MPs and health experts to call for a shutdown. However, Speaker on the floor of Parliament, Professor Okwei, today explains the Finance Minister is expected in the House for a presentation of the mid-year budget review. So if Parliament shuts down, the country will grind to a halt.
The Finance Ministry, BOST and Cocoa Board have all shut down their office spaces as a result of a number of staff testing positive for COVID-19. Workers are expected to work from home. Members of Parliament have been urging a shutdown of the House because a number of staff have tested positive for the virus. On the floor of Parliament, MP for Kumbungu Ras Mubarak was insistent that Parliament should shut down.
About a fortnight ago, Mr. Speaker, you did indicate that it was necessary for us to have second for COVID-19 staff. In view of the wave in the numbers of cases arising in the country, I'm wondering whether there could be an indication as to when that would be taken. And finally, Mr. Speaker, are there any further new measures this House is putting in place for the protection of staff and members of Parliament in view of the rising cases up and down the country?
But the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, ruled that Parliament cannot shut down.
We're all here, and I want to reiterate that in terms of protection, it will interest you to note that at dawn last Monday, the chamber was fumigated fully. And this will be done again dawn on Monday for the House to sit. So that is going on. Honorable members, this is the last warning. If any person engaged on a temporary basis by way of research assistant and all those people who have been asked to stay at home and work electronically is seen within the parameters of Parliament, that person will be disciplined immediately. When that happens, nobody should come and plead for anyone. It will be breaking the rule. And let us also remember that, honorable members, if you see any stranger on your floor and you accommodate and tolerate that kind of thing, you are helping the spread of the virus. So please, let's keep human traffic lean and do all we can as much as possible. We all know one thing. Parliament is not like many other places that you can simply and easily say we have suspended or closed down. Very soon, the Honorable Minister for Finance is going to read the supplementary budget. If Parliament doesn't sit, the country will shut down. There will be no money. It's as simple as that.
So Parliament remains open till leadership of the House decides otherwise.
Minority Leader Haruna Iddrisu has cautioned the security agencies, especially the Ghana Armed Forces, to remain neutral in the discharge of their constitutional mandated duties in the ongoing voter registration exercise. According to him, the security forces should not be allowed or not allow themselves to be used by ruling government to harass and intimidate eligible voters in NDC strongholds. Addressing the press, the Tamale South MP alleged some security officials are touring homes of indigents in the Volta region and demanding their identity card, a move he describes as unacceptable.
Of some role by a section of the Ghana Armed Forces and the police, or combined police military operations in parts of the country. And we have received reports of intimidation and harassment in some instances, particularly in the Volta region, of the military even entering houses and asking persons questions. Our caution to the Ghana Police Service and to the Ghana Armed Forces is that they should stay neutral as a state institution and work to secure the peace, stability, and security of our country, and that partisan politics is not their calling. They should not allow themselves to be used for that purpose. Therefore, all acts of intimidation and harassment by members of the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ghana Police Service must cease henceforth, and that it is not within their mandate, it is not within their calling. They have no authority under any law to ask any person any question, are you a citizen? The registration process is governed by law, and if you have cause to question any person of his citizenship, do so rightfully in accordance with the law, not with the intimidation of a gun or a weapon. That is not acceptable under Ghanaian law.
But responding to the claims, Deputy Minister for Defense Major Derek Yao Odro retired described the allegation by the minority leader as untruth and propaganda. He emphasized that troops patrolling the borders are assisting the immigration service to prevent further importation of COVID-19 into the country.
It is untrue to say that the soldiers have taken sides. The soldiers have never taken sides in any political endeavor. If yesterday they did not take sides, today why should they take sides? Ever were deployed at the border. Last year, 2019, nobody complained. Have we forgotten that Honorable Okujeto Abrakwa, chairman, no, the ranking member for Foreign Affairs, requested the Interior Minister to come and brief the House of the steps that he has taken to ensure that terrorists will not near this country to attack us. Whilst they were attacking Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, and the other nearby countries. It's only today that they are complaining that soldiers have been deployed. They know and they are aware that soldiers have been there. Soldiers are not entering any house in the Volta region or T region, as they claim. Soldiers are deployed at the borders to ensure that nobody crosses the border. Soldiers have been deployed at the northern border to make sure that nobody crosses from Burkina Faso into Ghana, and the same way at the western border, so that COVID-19 can be brought to the barest minimum if we cannot eradicate it. It is never true, it has never been true, and it will never be true. So whatever they claim, they can go ahead and then do their propaganda. It will not help them.
The opposition NDC has sued Ghana's Electoral Commission at an Accra High Court to stop the planned registration of voters in senior high schools. The party contends it is illegal and wrongful for registration to take place at any place that was not contained in a gazette and notification in accordance with CI 91. They want the court to rule that any such registration is null and void and of no legal effect. The NDC wants number one, a declaration that it is illegal and wrongful for the defendant to conduct registration at any place, including campuses of a senior high school, which was not contained in the Gazette and notification in accordance with CI 91. Number two, a declaration that any such registration of voters, including students, that take place at any ungazetted and unpublished registration center, including senior high school campuses, is null and void and of no legal effect. Number three, an order excluding names of persons registered at those illegal centers from the register of voters. And number four, an order for perpetual injunction restraining the defendant, whether by itself, officers, agents, or any other functionary personnel from carrying out registration of voters in any senior high school or place not duly gazetted or published in accordance with CI 91 as amended. Let's delve deeper into the issue because Peter Otokuno, Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, joins me via Zoom for more. Good to have you, Ms. Otokuno. The registration in senior high schools ends tomorrow. Why is the NDC fighting it?
Thanks for having me, Aisha. I hope you can hear me now.
Clearly.
Good. The point is not about the exercise starting today and ending tomorrow. And as you rightly read from the reliefs that we sought from the High Court, we are demanding a number of reliefs which we seek to indicate and declare that the exercise is illegal. In actual fact, yesterday at the IPAC meeting, we raised the issue about the illegality of this exercise. And the Electoral Commission is very much aware that it is very illegal, because when you read the Section 2, it tells you clearly that they have the powers to designate any registration center. But they must gazette those centers and offer it to the political parties 21 days before the exercise starts. So there is no two ways about it. This is an illegal exercise, and it must not be condoned. We have been prime advocates of, getting everybody who qualifies under the 1992 Constitution to register and vote, to get their name on the voter roll. And you have seen how we are feverishly preparing and campaigning across the country so that we'll get people who qualify, who are 18 years and above, to register. So it would be in our interest, and we'd be very happy to get all secondary school students registered. But we will not get it the illegal way. It will not be right. In fact, our conscience will not serve us right. And it will not even, be logical and acceptable for us to support any exercise that is in direct contravention of the Constitution. So we are saying that they should do the proper thing. They should gazette those institutions as registration centers so that they can duly conduct those exercises. Because if we allow this exercise to go on, what it means is that tomorrow the Electoral Commission will move the machine anywhere, and they will tell you that there are nearby polling stations or registration centers, and that when we finish the registration, we will upload the data onto those polling stations. One critical thing and important point that must be made is that we are running normal registration at the polling station. We have agreed as a principle that no single polling station will have more than 800 voters. Now you have the case whereby some schools, the qualified, students who are supposed to register are above 800. So you register 800 through your normal process. Then you register 800 on the school campuses. Then you come and add them to that same polling station. You have 1,600, people in one polling station. How can you get them to vote through the electoral process on the voting day? It will create chaos. It is problematic.
But
now, if we allow this exercise to go on again, one other challenge that we would have to deal with is the fact that anybody who can write to the Electoral Commission and request that bring machines to my office and come and register me, and you can't stop them.
But
you must make the same facility available to them. Then you have to move the machines to the hospitals and get those who are on sick bed.
Other parties have agreed with this move. You don't think this is a lost battle already?
Not all parties agreed with the move. On the contrary, at yesterday's IPAC meeting, it nearly got very nasty and chaotic. In fact, the meeting ended abruptly because a lot of the parties completely disagreed. But for the MPP and one political ally of DS who completely agreed with our position that it was illegal, but we should allow the Electoral Commission to do their work. I mean, I don't know why the thing is illegal and is in contravention of the CI 126, yet we would allow the Electoral Commission to openly and brazenly, preach the laws that they have fashioned for themselves and all of us.
Wish you all the best in this suit. Peter Otokuno is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. We'll be getting also a reaction from the Electoral Commission, but still to come in this bulletin. We'll be taking you to Pechi in the Ashanti region, where residents are angry with a man for arresting 2 children for plucking corn from his farm.
It is a mebaya boni bikrana, kauda boom, as one my mammy won it. The meti and say, and Kranigu police station.
We're back with more on Joy News Prime. It's time now for business. Sandra Peno is here with the very latest.
I love Fridays. Say something. All right, good evening. I am Sandra Esenamafin. As always, I'm here for business. The president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obin, says any move to review the country's retail laws could result in loss of millions of jobs among trading communities. Chief Executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, had suggested a possible review of these laws, arguing it will make Ghana's investment climate more attractive. More in the following report.
The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is predicting a 1 million job loss in the retail space if government reviews the GIPC law on retail trade. Chief Executive of GIPC, Yofi Grant, had earlier suggested to Joy Business that current laws regarding the capital requirement for retail trade in Ghana must be scrapped for the benefit of Ghana's investment climate.
You do an impact analysis of some of your laws and see whether they are working. And if they are not working, then for me, then take it out. Now, our research, what we found out was that it's even now that we have that law that we've seen more infringements by our neighbors and other people from across the world, which has led to some unfortunate incidences that have occurred in the marketplace. Yeah. As far as this law was in place. So obviously the law wasn't working, and there's been insistence that government must act on the law, but it's not as easy as that.
Because should we increase the capital?
No, I think that we should remove it at all. We should take it all out. And investors have complained, even Ghanaians complain.
Meanwhile, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obin, insists the GIPC must rather explore other avenues for investment other than the retail space.
We should not be restrictive to the extent that we don't allow anybody to enter the retail space. But then there's a caveat. And there's this window of opportunity that if you're able to invest in this sum, then this window is open to you, so that there shouldn't be abuse in the retail sector where it's not going to derail the progress of the manufacturing sector. It's as simple as that. So it's not that we are going to just open ourselves without any limitation, because that's not the essence, that's not the priority, and that can never be the priority of government, and it shouldn't be the priority of government that I'm seeking foreign direct investment into the retail space. It doesn't make sense anyway, in the world.
Ghana's retail trade law generally lays out activities that foreign investors are not permitted to invest or participate in. This list is not exclusive. Other laws have provisions on activities reserved for Ghanaians. These activities include the sale of goods or provision of services in a market, petty trading or hawking, or selling of goods in a stall at any place.
The Ghana Stock Exchange ended the first 6 months of the year recording mixed results for investors. The half-year report showed that while trading activities picked up strongly, investor returns, on the other hand, reduced sharply. Details in the following Business Desk report.
According to the report, total volume of trades for the first half of this year went down significantly, with the value of shares traded, on the other hand, inching up by more than 100% compared to the same period in 2019. However, some declines were recorded considering the month-on-month trading, which is from May to June this year. The composite index of the Ghana Stock Exchange for the half year was down by a little over 14%. What this means is that investors since the beginning of this year have seen their investment plummet by that margin. Some could link this to the economy and possibly the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. MTN in the first half of this year stood out as the best stock in value, trade and volume. The share price of MTN is now selling at 57 pesos after trading open at 70 pesos on the market. Some industry watchers believe that the stock market is always a reflection of the economy. So if things are going well, that will be reflected in trading activities.
A primary school teacher, Ebenezer Donko, has emerged winner of jackpot draw 32 of Utrie Lotteries Limited. He won over 208,000 cedi cash prize after several weeks of participation. He shared his experience with Joy Business.
Saturday in the evening, I had a text message. I just saw congratulations with my name added. I said, okay. I didn't look at the figure. And later I had a call from a gentleman and then said, "You have won, congratulations." I said, okay, thank you. Then he wanted me to be sure of what I had won. So he mentioned the amount, 208,500 Ghana cedi. I said, was I dreaming? It didn't look real. Then he was trying to encourage me to know that you have won actually. Then he asked of my details and then asked me to come on Monday to fill some documents for receiving the money. This is real. This is real, can change your life within a twinkle of an eye. And I'm so happy for *78 Star Company.
This Saturday, all tickets that I've purchased for all throughout the week also automatically qualify for the big jackpot value, which is 70,000 Ghana cedis this Saturday.
The lucky man, Ebenezer Donko, congratulations. And that's how we end the first part of business. I'm back after 8 p.m. with more.
It's time now for Showbiz. Becky is here with the very latest. Hi, Becky. How are you?
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
But it's all about the highest birthday.
Yes,
happy
highest
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Sak.
Happy birthday to
dear Sak. Thank you very much, Aisha. You have a very beautiful voice.
Like it.
But I mean, what stood out for this birthday is the fact that Shatta Wale wished him.
They made up.
Yeah. On Hits FM. We have a very beautiful report put together for you, lovely viewers.
Shatta will kill me.
Aisha, I love
the way you mentioned your name. You're a big girl.
But Sak, I mean, me and Sak, like we go way back.
Oh my goodness, you're best friends, right?
Yes.
I know.
Aisha, let's talk about Stonebwoy. So Stonebwoy, finally, he's launched his BIM skills. This is something for the youth, you know, starting from Ashaman, just to help the youth, you know, gain more skills. So basically we were at the launch, and here is what Stonebwoy has to say.
I think that learning a skill is everything. When we go to school, we are being told to life skills, all these ones. Those things we learned set the basis for us, you know. And I think in this Corona time, to the lockdowns and stuff, it's now even needed the more. You put one or two together, and you can make soap for yourself. One or two, you can make hand sanitizers, and many more. You see the things that they are being taught. these are things they can, handiworks that they can use to enhance their lives as well and get a thing or two from. Somebody can help a friend do something and get a token from there and all. There's always a means of having something to do and finding something to live on. That's why the Livingston Foundation, as one of its obligations, is continuing to do these things. There are so many things that we will do, especially in this season, because I want to put down this platform like it has always been, to seek for help, to give help.
BIM president. Thumbs up to BIM Nation. I mean, it's a good initiative. But who else is joining the Fancy Gadam fraternity?
Kwame Eugene. And he's been explaining why. Apparently he has like lots of hair on his body.
Oh, really?
And he's tired of cutting down his hair.
I haven't taken
So he decided that he will keep the rasta.
So he's hairy. And that'll be it for Showbiz. That'll be it. And more on your election headquarters, because the Electoral Commission says it will rely on a CI which is yet to mature in Parliament to allow students to transfer their votes from wherever they may be on election day. According to the EC, processes for the transfer is expected to commence in October. Minutes after news broke about the Commission's decision to register students at the various schools, a number of concerns were raised by some political parties and a section of the public. Latif Idris was at the Electoral Commission's second edition of Let the Citizens Know series and now reports.
A machine to register must be a gazetted registration. And the
decision has been described as illegal by the opposition NDC. Other political parties like PNC, APC, CPP and other parties at the emergency IPAC meeting on Thursday questioned the EC's decision to breach the regulation governing the ongoing registration exercise.
They don't discuss with the political parties. So at the end of the day, they do things on their own. And then they just want us to come around and then it look as if we were all part of it.
Have people who will infiltrate in, because nobody knows them at that polling station. You can't deny them the right to vote, in addition to the violating of their own rules.
You agree with the EC? I see that in your face.
No, I disagree with the EC. But addressing the second edition of Let the Citizen Know series, Deputy EC Chair Dr. Bosman Asari says they will rely on gazetted registration centers to cure concerns of breaching the regulation.
There was a question about the concerns of the party. Is it Mr. Latif Idris?
Yes, sir.
Yes. We need to understand that the parties that are registered with the Electoral Commission, they are about 27. About 28 even now. So when we have an IPAC meeting and two of the parties say, or they are not supportive of the decision of IPAC, I don't think it represents the general view of IPAC. We are going to use our mobile teams to register the students who, because of the restrictions on the campus, they cannot leave the campus to go to the nearest polling center. So where registration centers are there, Mr. Tete mentioned Aquinas, Laboni, we have registration centers, the students are registering. But where we don't have, because they cannot cross to the nearest, the Commission is going to use its mobile teams to register them.
Deputy Chair in charge of operations, Samuel Tete, also revealed the Commission has made provisions for additional chairs to be provided at the registration centers to reduce overcrowding, which has characterized the registration at some registration centers.
Centers where we have overcrowding, the Commission has increased the number of chairs to 200 and above. An example of such place or centers is what we have in Odododiodio. It has been a center where we have so many people in the queue, and the Commission has made available enough chairs.
There have been concerns about political parties bashing their faithful to register at centers that are not in their constituencies. Chairperson of the Commission, Madam Jane Mensah, says that is being taken care of.
been given a lot of training and they've been empowered to do the right thing. I have my doubts that they will collude with any political party to do what is not right or to register people who are crossing the queues and so on and so forth. We've mentioned here that we have the challenge system. Therefore, if along the way people are brought in and bussed from other communities to a particular registration centers, those people will be challenged and their names will be on the challenge form. The committee will sit on it and a decision will be taken as to whether to register them or not. But be assured that we are working around the clock.
The exercise, which started today, Friday, is expected to end on Saturday, July 11, 2020.
The opposition NDC is alleging that the Electoral Commission is executing a plot by President Akufo-Addo to manipulate the processes for the 2020 its clearest attack yet. The NDC at a news conference said the decision by the Electoral Commission is already inflating registration figures from NPP strongholds and reducing those from the NDC strongholds. Here's Director of Elections at the NDC, Elvis Efriankra.
The EC invited political parties, and as has become a modus operandi, informed us of their next immediate move. They intend to register qualified SHS students currently in school. As we have demonstrated so far, the NDC ordinarily supports the idea of inclusivity in principle and would always welcome any move to enroll all eligible potential voters onto the register. However, we reiterate our position that the EC must at all times operate within its laws, its own laws. To this end, we remind the EC that according to CI 91, they are required to gazette a designated polling center for 21 days. In the absence of that, any so-called registration center, be it in a school or elsewhere, is illegal. It is true that the EC was quick to refer to their mandate as prescribed by CI 91, but they conveniently left out portions of the same CI that compels them to gazette for a defined number of days. We refer you, ladies and gentlemen, to Regulation 2, Paragraph 3 of the CI 91. And it states, and I quote, "The Commission shall at least 21 days before the first day of the national registration of voters inform political parties and the general public by publication in the Gazette of a place it designates as a registration center." Indeed, this is the law, and it's very clear, and it's in black and white. And it's not for fun that the EC is meant to gazette for 21 days. It's for specific reasons, so that political parties will know and citizens will know well in advance, so that they can put all measures and preparations in place. But lo and behold, they haven't done that. This is another demonstration of the chronic deceit of the Jane Mensah and Bosman Asare-led EC, even at this late hour.
Voter registration has commenced in various senior high schools in the country as the Electoral Commission gears up for the December elections. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba visited Presec, Legon, and the Achimota schools here in the Greater Accra region. This is what he found.
And here at Presec Legon, it is one of the centers that the registration is going to take place. So you can see behind me, the setup is ready for the registration to start. All the chairs here are arranged in accordance with the social distancing protocol. The registration officials are yet to arrive here on the ground, but there's an NDC party agent. The NDC party agents are actually waiting.
My name is Kofi Yesu, the Senior House Master of Presec Legon. An announcement has been made to all students concerning those who have attained the age of 18 and beyond. And the regulation is that classes will still go on. It will not disrupt our classes, but the teachers who have been detailed to be part of this exercise, they will be going from class to class. And those who have attained the required age or eligible to vote, they will come. And as you can see, we have arranged seats here for them. So the numbers that we have here are close to 100. So when they come, you sit, and then when it's your turn, you move in, do your registration, and go back to class. Though it's a national exercise, but we will not allow it to disrupt classes. So the arrangement as I've given you, that is how we are going to go by. That is, you'll be in class. Classes will go on. When it's your turn to vote, register, then the teachers will bring you here. Quickly you do it and go back and continue academic work.
We have an NDC agent here with us.
Rakia Usman. Okay. So ours is to ensure that, you know, at the end of the registration period or day, we do a tally. So we have to make sure that the total number of people, students who will be able to register today, will tally with what we are doing. So we have something we call that's the daily sheets.
We are here at the new assembly hall of the Achimota School, and the school is here in the Okankwin North District.
I'm the district registration supervisor. We are registering Achimota Secondary School, Senior High School students. But before the students were coming, the teachers had wanted to be registered first because most of the students haven't gotten a verification document. That is to say Ghana card or a passport. So when they register, they will in turn guarantee for the students so that we can also register them.
But wouldn't that create any problems?
No, they are teachers. You can never leave them out since they are within the school. So you cannot, once the opportunity has come on their way, you must use it.
So there are some party agents here, some of them taking this up there. Let's see if they can speak to us.
I came in not quite long, so I'm just trying to cross-check what he has already, and then I can input into my data column. And then for what we'll be looking out for, since it's a school, we're looking at maybe the students should comport themselves so that no one walk out contracting any of the COVID-19.
Final year students and staff of WA Senior High School had the opportunity of registering for the new voters register when registration officials of the Electoral Commission visited the school. During the exercise at the school started 3 hours late, the prospective applicants were happy to have finally captured their names on the register to take part in the 2020 polls. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
Over 3 dozen prospective registrants sat patiently 2 meters apart from each other. Students and staff of WA Senior High School quickly came here after seeing the registration officials of the Electoral Commission set up their registration devices on the veranda of the over 40-year-old school assembly hall. Some of them were there earlier, but the registration officials had not turned up yet. Presiding officer of the registration center, Domina Dominic, told me they were not informed earlier about where to do the exercise and thus explained why they were almost 3 hours late.
We did not give us the information earlier on, so we just started right now.
You started around 11 o'clock?
Yes.
How is the process so far?
Oh, it's going on well.
How many people have you registered so far?
1 so far, and this is the second person.
This is the second person?
Yes, please.
Any challenges?
No.
Joey Nero is a final year student of the school, and he was the first person to be registered, and it took him 12 minutes to go through the registration process. He described the registration exercise as simple and one that will give many of his colleagues the opportunity to register without going through any difficulty. Yoyi is excited that for the first time, he will have the opportunity to decide who rules the country.
No, it was not difficult. But the only thing that they asked me that, like, they are doing only one center here. And, like, it's my brother who stay at Laoba, vote in Kolkwan Kwantaba. So they say that as I register one center here, I'll vote by here. Continue, like some people, they don't have it. As they are starting registering new voter card. So some people will get, so they choose the best person who can handle the country.
Are you going to vote in the 2020 polls?
Yes, if I'm having life.
The registration officials are expected to spend the day here at the West Senior High School before moving to the St. Louis Senior High School on Saturday for same exercise. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
I'm back here in Accra in the studio. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Now, the minority in Parliament has rejected claims by the Aviation Minister Joseph Kofi Adda that the Ghana Airport Company is saddled with huge debts. The minister, in a reaction to agitations by staff of the company against attempts to privatize some aspects of the company, told the media a strategic investor is being sought to rescue the GACL from its debts accumulated as a result of construction of the Terminal 3. Before we bring you views from the minority, let's listen to Mr. Joseph Adda.
There's no intention to privatize Ghana Airport Company or any of its operations. There's no word like privatization being used in all the correspondence that we've been engaging on the way forward to improve the service delivery and expand infrastructure for the company. 3, there's no plan whatsoever. There's no intention. There's no statement anywhere about the management takeover or management contract for a foreign team or outsiders to come and take over the management of the Ghana Airport Company. 4, there's no planned layoffs or retrenchment or redundancies.
Speaking to the media, the minority spokesperson on roads and transport, Kwame Agboja, argued the Mahama administration left a very vibrant company, contrary to claims by the sector minister.
The minority intends to react to a statement attributed to the aviation minister regarding the fact that Ghana Airport Company is broke, and the reason they are broke is because of the construction of Terminal 3. Friends of the media, that particular statement is very ridiculous. Why do I say this? By 2016, the Ghana Airport Company was so much run very well that that company could raise financing from the international market to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars to invest in expansion of their properties across the country. Out of that, Terminal 2 was totally upgraded. Terminal 3 was constructed as a new terminal. By the way, the funds for the construction of Terminal 3 is not entirely a loan from abroad. Part of that money was paid from the Ghana Infrastructure Fund, the same fund that the NPP decided to give to a relative of the president to build a hotel at the airport enclave instead of paying off the debt of Terminal 3. The minority is extremely against the attempt by government to pretend that Ghana Airport Company is in debt because of Terminal 3. That cannot be true. In fact, we are not even aware that Ghana Airport Company has missed the repayment of any of the loan they've contracted.
The Daklo MP consequently warned the Turkish-based investors that the future NDC government will abrogate any deal they enter into with government regarding management of the Ghana Airport Company, since it is not in the interest of the country.
You better watch what you do with your money, because it may be likely that the next government may see that in a different light. Why do I say this? We have already done the investment into our airport. Ho is completed, is not in use. Kumasi is under construction. We've taken the loan already. Tama is under construction. Wa has been completed. Kotoka itself is overcapacitated. I'm saying that Terminal 3 could take 5 to 7 years to reach its full capacity. Terminal 2, recently upgraded, is not even in use. They only handed over Terminal 1 to McDan, and nobody knows what he's even doing there. So what exactly is the strategic investor bringing? Is it to come and manage it so that maybe the minister and all the directors are not capable of managing it? I don't think at this stage of Ghana's life, we needed a strategic investor to manage an airport. When we can find our own money and build it, we don't need anybody to manage it for us. So whoever is doing the negotiation, we are told
There's no agreement yet. So whoever is involved in this strategic discussion, please watch what you are doing, because it may not be in the interest of the people of this country, and they may take a second look at it when government changes.
To the Ashanti region, because residents of Pachi in that region are shocked and angry with the man who arrested 2 children for allegedly stealing his corn. Apia Mensah handed over the minors aged 7 and 5 to local police, who kept them for over 4 hours. He says the kids had plucked 3 cobs of corn in his backyard garden. My colleague Ohimen Terrier followed up on the story and has more in this report.
Police station. Unknown to the children's parents, neighbor Mr. Mensah, March Kojo and Akwasi, not their real names, over a distance of about 5 kilometers to the Pechi No. 2 police station. Not even the cry of the half-naked younger lad could save them from their captor. Mother of the children, Vivian Avogra, received what she says is shock of her life when police informed her by phone the arrest of the case.
No, na police for ne frame. No, so ma bedu police station. Nti ho ana na medre me ka me call na mpa na nkra ne gu kataba na chiri honom. Nti be hwe no omo nhye mpaboa ba ko kra ro nhye panto nhye hwe ne hu na gu ho. Ni say papa no ni fie mi so fie ni. Otimi asoma ne ma e be pro me mango anapɛ. Ni say me minimum say odo e wo yemu. E ti say me ba ye boni bi kra na ka wo da boom. Eso wa amwom wa mama me woni de me chi ya ne say nkra ne gu police.
Police say Mr. Mensah left the station without giving official statement. His action has angered residents of Pechi No. 2. Assemblyman for the area, Alex Donko, cites Mr. Donko for subjecting the children to such traumatizing experience.
They detain them. In fact, the 5-year-old one, if you see the guy, he will run away because he cry. You cannot describe. It's very, very pity and very, very sad. For my own understanding, if there is any law that we should deal with this man, the law must take its course, because you are a parent, and 5-year and 7-year-old child, what they don't know? They don't know anything about stealing. So if somebody or these children steal or something, you can report to their parents, or we have community assemblyman and committees, and even chiefs are also here. We didn't report to anybody, and you just send them to police station. If there is any law that can take this man on, they should do that.
Meanwhile, police have released the case to their parents as they look for the complainant. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimen Terrier reporting.
Kids will always be kids. And still to come in business, going virtual, how are businesses and organizations strategizing in the midst of COVID-19? We have all of that in the second part of business.
Welcome back to business. There's something on my mind, and I'm sure most of you are also curious to find some answers as well. Is there going to be a day when the world wakes up and wouldn't have to talk about COVID-19? Perhaps not now, because scientists are telling us to live with the virus. So the world is gradually adjusting. The new normal, organizations worldwide are cutting down on human interactions with the introduction of virtual workspaces. But with low interest penetration rates and digital literacy, how bad will this hit Ghana? Earlier, I engaged Simon Alande, a digital skills and cloud migration consultant. First, I asked him about Ghana's performance so far in the digital space.
Ghana's digital audience and the digital landscape is growing very rapidly. Currently, the statistics show that the number of internet users in Ghana is half the population of Ghana. So that is showing, and this is, and even 2018, 2019, in terms of the year-on-year growth of internet users across the world, Ghana was ranked number 4. So that shows that there's actually a high demand.
Do we know the class of people that are using the internet?
I think the last time I checked, it was between 24 years to 35 years. These are the working class group. They are very active and they are dominating the digital presence in Ghana. Okay,
away from that, we have more and more businesses now operating virtually. What tools can businesses leverage during this pandemic to make the most out of, working from home or working remotely?
So one, I think that there are a lot of tools that they can use, and one of them is, for example, the Google Drive tools that allow businesses to work on the same documents and the same platforms and seeing each other's edits and the video and chat even on those platforms. So instead of having a typical meeting in the office, you could actually have a meeting from home and allow people actually update these documents on the go, and your manager can see someone editing it, and you can also see someone editing it. So that way you can track the work people have done in terms of the document they're working on as well. Another thing people can do is to begin to schedule their lifestyle in terms of using things like calendar. So, for example, when you wake up in the morning and you go to the office at 9, one of the things you do is have a meeting. The next thing is to have team reports and send reports of your weekly activities.
Simon, I think you agree with me. That will require some sort of training, right?
Of course, digital skills, to learn any form of digital skills, you need some kind of guidance. But some of these things can also be, you can learn it on your own as well. These apps are really available on all the mobile phones of late. They have the default ones from the manufacturer, and they have the other ones from third parties like Google and Microsoft and other big players.
A lot of people are working from home just to, take care of the face-to-face interactions, and businesses are also having to operate online. The question is, how do these businesses increase their online sales?
I think that there are 3 main things they should consider. 1, to be there. 2, to be useful, and to be quick. When I say to be there, there's a school of thought about the online behavior of consumers or users, and we call that micro movements. Micro movements is basically identifying the various touch points from the period the consumer is trying to learn about something to the sales. So being able to know, for example, I want to know moments. Someone wants to know something about your industry or your brand. Are you there when the person wants to know? So, for example, one will say, I want to buy moment. When someone searches for your brand or the services you offer on Google, can they find you as a brand? So, for example, you can use Google Ads and run an ad on Google, and you can use a bidding platform, a bidding model we call cost per click or pay per click, where you only pay when someone actually goes to your website. And then you have the cost per acquisition or cost per conversion, where you actually only pay when someone actually buys or book or achieves the marketing goal you want them to achieve on your platform. So that these different bidding options that startups can use and actually improve their sales.
For lack of better word, the people down there who sell the cocoa on the street, we are all feeling the pinch of this pandemic, and those who sell tomato in your neighborhood and all that. How can we include all of them in this digital space? I know it's a difficult one. And so Google, for instance, has this local language translation and all that. But how do we bring everybody on board?
I think for us, as users and as stakeholders in the digital ecosystem and even in Ghana, I think one of the basic things is to help them put their business profiles on Google. It is free. So, for example, when I search for Joy FM or I search for a news agency, I would basically see Joy News, and therefore I would click on that and call them or ask for directions to their business. The last time I tried looking for a gas cooker repairer in my neighborhood, trust me, I searched for it on Google and I couldn't find.
You were not lucky.
A business near me, and that does not mean that there are no gas repairers in my neighborhood, but they don't have the information is not on the Google platform, and this is free. So their sons, their friends can easily put their businesses there and help these people to get more businesses or customers like myself when I need them near me. So we have that. That's where there's a micro movement I was trying to explain.
Let's look at the broader picture. I mean, for governments, how do they implement an effective home-based work online kind of module?
Again, there are a lot of school of thoughts about the approach. But for me, I think that they should allow the various departments and agencies to exploit what works best for them. And again, they have to mimic what works in their office. Allow team leads should have they should block one-on-one syncs with their various team members. They should be able to schedule them. So every week or bi-weekly, you should have meetings with your team member online. Ask them the updates of the project. You should have a track sheet that you should be able to update daily for you to see the progress. Of course, online security should be also key.
Right.
So they should be able to implement device policies that would allow them to be able to wipe any device that goes missing and remotely without actually allowing other people to be able to see or view those documents that are on those devices.
Let's do something even more exciting, because travelers on Metromas MMT buses in Accra will now be treated to some refreshment courtesy Puma Drink. The initiative is a partnership between the producers of Puma Drink, Kasapreko Limited, and between March and July, Kasapreko has supported institutions and individuals in the fight against COVID-19. There's more in the following report.
Over the years, we've been able to raise more than 1.5 million cedis for the cardio center.
Beginning of the year, before the COVID came in, we were the first company to introduce our hand sanitizers.
The beverage producer Kasapreko Company Limited, KCL, has increased its corporate social responsibility during this COVID-19 pandemic. The partnership between Metromas and KCL is aimed at attracting commuters to support the transport operator during this COVID-19 pandemic, when commercial transport owners are complaining of bad business. For now, passengers within the Accra metropolis will enjoy the Puma Drink refreshment. KCL intends to replicate this partnership with MMT in other regions. Commercial Director for KCL, Gerald Bonsu, touches on the need for this partnership.
We want to also educate, the public on how to be safe out there whilst, like in the buses. We advise that they wear their masks, they use KCL hand sanitizer. At the same time, they will also have the experience of getting a free drink, which is the Puma Drink in the buses. We want to support Ghana as a whole. The partnership is going to be for a while, because we don't know when the COVID will be over.
Deputy Managing Director Operations and Technical, Metro Mass Transit, Richard Osei-Banfo, who accepted the beverages on behalf of the transport company, underscored the impact of this partnership with Kasapreko. Chris Ado-Sarkodie is the Sales Marketing Manager for soft drinks and water at KCL.
We also believe that as a company, we can only innovate to stay relevant. We have teamed up with Metro Mass Transit to ensure that we can coordinate in terms of the people who are actually boarding the bus and then the consumption activities. And so what we are saying is that if you should find any of these branded buses, the long ones I should say, that means that it's your lucky day.
The Kolebu Teaching Hospital, 37 Military Hospital, Information Ministry, Mensha Palace, among others, have so far benefited from Kasapreko's COVID-19 support.
And before we go, crude oil ended the week with a trading value of $42.85 a barrel. Gold dropped in price to sell for $1,794.76 an ounce. Let's go for the commodity trading. This week with me, Sandra Estinam Apeno. There's more news on myjoyonline.com/business. Thanks so much for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and stay beautiful.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here. This is the second part with me, Oreko Ampofo. We do continue with some local stories. This time we hear from former Sports Minister Neelanthe van der Poy, as he has revealed that the Black Queens have actually gone on to petition the Parliamentary Select Committee for Sports concerning outstanding arrears.
The Black Queens are owed bonuses from their participation in the 2016 AFCON in Cameroon. The team received a part payment of $25,000, which was combined per diem and bonuses when they returned from the tournament. However, they are yet to receive the remaining monies. Neelanthe van der Poy has revealed a petition has been served to the Parliamentary Select Committee for Sports to intervene.
Well, I'm not at the ministry. Okay. Let me say some of these, I want to be as truthful as possible. By the time I was leaving the ministry, we don't owe any of the male teams, but we were owing some of the female teams. We were owing the Black Queens. We paid a lot of them. We paid the amount we were owing, partly of the amount we were owing the Black Princess. And I think what was outstanding was the Black Satellites, because they had a competition to play before I left the ministry. So we've received petition here from the Black Queens. Their representative came to Parliament. They came and they submitted a petition to us. They told us that the current Deputy Minister for Information, who was then the Deputy Minister for Sports, told them that some of those monies were owed by the NDC government, so they are not going to pay. I didn't know that the girls were playing for the NDC government. I thought they were playing for Ghana. So I was surprised. I told the girls I don't believe he said that, but they said he said that. If he said that, that's very myopic, and that should tell you who he is.
Mr. van der Poy questioned government's commitment to the women's game, asking why the Black Stars, who participated in the 2019 African Cup of Nations a year late after the Black Queens hosted the rest of Africa in the women's division of AFCON, but were paid all monies due them.
We came to inherit a debt from the Kufuor government. When I got to the ministry, the account of the ministry has been garnished as a result of the failure of the Kufuor administration to pay for works that were done by the contractors who developed our stadia for Ghana CAN 2008. You understand? So we inherited it. We paid some, we couldn't pay all. So if you have come to power and you've inherited debt, you have to do well to settle the debt. Let me ask you a question. The Black Princess were involved in a tournament, or the Black Queens were involved in a tournament before the Black Stars played their the last qualifying match. Why are they not owing the Black Stars and they are owing the Black Queens? Because what? The Black Stars are more special.
The Black Queens are owed a little over $12,000 per Joy Sports checks.
And time for an interactive segment, and you know how to join the conversation. It's on all our social media platforms. You may have heard that a 26-year-old has tapped her boyfriend for cheating on her. We posted the comment on Facebook. Guess what? Massive comments. And it's generated 1.2K comments, 507 shares, and 2K likes. Let's check out some of your comments. Michael Boatin says, a little faithfulness could have prevented this. Rest in peace, bro. Juliet Esinam says, the rule is walk away. Walk away quickly with your sanity intact while saving yourself all these stress. Now your whole life will be going down the drain. This is sad. Yapi says, this shows how deep she loves him. Sister, for now, just pray to God to forgive you and give you the strength to carry this cross. He will surely forgive you. Don't harm yourself. May you encounter the mercy of Lord in this storm. This is what happens when you love too much. Nana Ekio first says, I would rather walk out of the relationship if I feel I'm being cheated than to do this and go to jail. Freedom is sweet, Papa. Agnes Akosia says, so sad. If you know you don't love someone, just let them go rather than cheat. Cheating has now become normal in this generation. The lady too should have been patient. This thing called anger. Agnes Etiamo Ejapon says, what do you want, pretty lady? Pretty lady, have you seen what you have done? And someone is waiting for you nowadays. Some young ladies do not respect their parents. They say we are old. It's a lesson to you all. And Louise Coxey says, a little patience from both partners could have resolved this. I guess that's what you wanted to write. Sad for the lady. Rest well, bro. There, Linda says, I always say if you can't condone your cheating partner, just walk away. As simple as that. May his soul rest in peace. And Crow Ethel says, every human is capable of doing unimaginable things, but the ability to control yourself in terms like this shows how strong you are. It's painful to be cheated upon, but the best thing was to walk away. Now your life is wasted because you're going to serve life in prison. And Lizzie Isi says, this is what happens when you believe you're nothing without a particular man. May the soul of the departed rest in peace. The lady has nothing to lose because she already believes she doesn't have a life outside her boyfriend. And Dorinda Amachi says, ow, my condolences to the bereaved family and friends. Just boyfriend, not your husband, and you have killed him. What a pity. Uncontrolled anger has led to the two of you losing your lives, because even if you are pardoned, which is most unlikely, you will live with a bothered conscience. And those are your comments on Facebook. You know how to get the rest. Go on to myjohnline.com. That's how we wrap up the news tonight. And my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend.